You've probably seen big wrecks before, but what happened to Bubba Wallace this past weekend? This one hits different. One lap, one bump, 26 cars destroyed, and somehow Bubba Wallace ended up at the center of it all over again. Let's talk about what happened at Talladega Superspeedway on Sunday, April 26th, because folks, this was wild. The race was the Jack Link's 500, and Bubba Wallace was actually leading the field early in Stage 2. He was driving the number 23 Toyota for 2311 Racing, the team owned by Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin. Things were looking pretty good for him. Then lap 115 happened. Wallace was out front when Ross Chastain, driving the number 1 Chevy for Trackhouse Racing, came up behind him at the end of the back straightaway. Chastain bumped the back of Wallace's car. Now, the bump didn't even look that hard, but Wallace's Toyota got loose, swung sideways, and slid right up into the outside safer barrier. And right behind him, a 3-wide pack of cars going full speed. Cole Custer was right in the path. What happened next was pure chaos. Wallace's car turned into the wall, and then bounced back across the track like a pinball. Cars were trying to go low, cars were trying to go high, and most of them had nowhere to go. The Fox Sports broadcast described it as a smokescreen of carnage through turn 3. By the time the smoke cleared, 26 cars were involved. Only a handful of drivers made it out clean, including Ryan Preece, Chris Buescher, and weirdly enough, Ross Chastain himself. NASCAR threw the red flag, and the Fox broadcast team posted on social media saying, "The very big one. Talladega is currently a parking lot." That sums it up perfectly. The list of drivers caught up in this mess reads like a who's who of NASCAR. We're talking Connor Zilisch, Ty Gibbs, Daniel Suarez, William Byron, Eric Jones, Ryan Blaney, Joey Logano, and Kyle Larson. Drivers were taken to the infield medical center, but thankfully, nobody got hurt. And in the middle of all this chaos, Carson Hocevar somehow drove right past it all and went on to beat Chris Buescher to the finish line. That was Hocevar's first ever NASCAR Cup Series win. What a way to get it. But back to Wallace. The moment the wreck happened, his team radio lit up. According to journalist Matt Weaver, Wallace's very first words were, "He wrecked me." Pretty clear who he was talking about. Then his spotter Freddie Kraft came on the radio, and reporter Richard Allen of Motorsports Report shared the exchange. The spotter said, "I can't see the car. How is it?" He literally couldn't see Wallace because of all the smoke. Wallace's reply was kind of funny, honestly. He said, "I'll see you in Texas." That's NASCAR speak for, "Yeah, my day is done." Now here's where things get interesting. After Wallace got checked out at the infield care center and came back to talk to reporters, his tone completely changed. He took the high road. See, after watching the replay, Wallace realized something important. Chastain didn't just decide to slam into him on purpose. Chastain himself got pushed by the cars stacked up behind him. So Wallace stopped pointing fingers and started looking inward. Speaking on the Fox broadcast, Wallace said, "Damn, right? Nothing to show for it in the first stage, obviously just trying to figure out the strategy stuff. But man, just hate it. Hate it for Xfinity, hate it for our team. Don't want to have any DNFs. We have 2 now, so it's a bummer." Then he said the thing that really got people talking. He said, "But we've got to figure out how to be pushed better, so I take responsibility on that. We'll have a good debrief and figure out what we can do to make our Toyotas a little bit better being pushed and maybe not have that happen. But appreciate Xfinity. We'll go on to Old Texas and have some fun." That's a big shift from "he wrecked me" to "I take responsibility." And fans noticed. A lot of fans pointed the blame straight at Wallace. The argument goes like this. Sure, it's not his fault Chastain bumped him, but maybe his car was set up too loose. Maybe a simple bump shouldn't have spun him out like that. That's actually a fair point. And Wallace's team isn't exactly taking that criticism lying down either. But here's where the story gets bigger than just Wallace and Chastain. A lot of drivers are saying the real problem is the next-gen car itself. The car becomes really unstable when drivers push each other in close packs at superspeedways. Ryan Blaney was one of the loudest voices calling for changes. He compared the racing to drivers just running all over each other, and Blaney doesn't think NASCAR will fix anything until off-season testing in January. Joey Logano had even more to say. He was running just 2 cars behind Wallace when everything went wrong. Logano told reporters, "They just started wrecking above me there. I was getting as low as I can to try to avoid it, and everyone was trying to do the same thing, trying to get low and cause the big crash at Talladega." Then he got into the real issue. Logano said, "You've got round bumpers on these things. The cars are unstable, and once everyone starts pushing and racing aggressive, it's going to happen. Until we fix that stuff, we're going to continue seeing it, unfortunately. Unfortunately, today, we're the ones that got caught up in it." Logano even compared the bumpers to 2 basketballs hitting each other. You just can't predict where things go. Oh, and on top of all this, NASCAR also admitted they messed up during the race. They gave Zane Smith a wave around, but then refused to give Denny Hamlin the same thing later. Hamlin was furious about it. Now let's zoom out, because this Talladega disaster is part of a bigger problem for Bubba Wallace in 2026. While Wallace has been struggling, his teammate Tyler Reddick is having one of the best seasons of his career. Reddick already has 5 first-place finishes, 23 XI. Racing is in a great spot. Wallace? Not so much. He has 5 top, 1-0 finishes, but he's only cracked the top 5 once, and he just admitted that something is missing. Wallace was honest about it. He said, "I thought once we got past the bubble of 8th or 9th that we would really turn it up. We got to 3rd, and Tyler Reddick passed me like I was on jack stands, and I'm like, never mind." That's a brutal way to describe getting passed by your own teammate. Wallace went on, saying, "We are still missing something, but hats off to the team. What an incredible year that we are all putting together. It's an honor to be a part of a good race team with good race cars. It's a lot of fun. I want it more. I'm pissed that he won. I'm getting tired of it." And while Wallace deals with all this, NASCAR legend Kyle Busch dropped some real talk in an interview with Sean Haggerty. Busch was asked why he doesn't have many close friends among other drivers. He said, "We're a traveling circus, or a traveling trailer park, whichever you want to call it, because we're in the same motorhome lot every single weekend." Busch said some guys are friends because they grew up racing together. So, where does Wallace go from here? Well, he's currently 12th in the Cup Series standings. He has 2 DNFs already this season, which is not where any driver wants to be. After Texas, he's heading to Watkins Glen International, and he's actually feeling okay about it. Wallace told reporters, "It's in 2 weeks. Usually I try to not think about road courses. Watkins Glen is a tough one. It's fast, obviously, with the repave. It's been one of the trickiest ones for me. I forgot we finished 8th there last year, so that's a nice reminder." He's looking for his first win of the season and his first ever win at the Glen. And after what just happened at Talladega, Wallace knows he needs ultimate focus the moment that green flag drops. The pressure on his shoulders just keeps getting heavier.